guys, it's Susan, and I'm here with my friend Julie, who's helping me video, and I'm going to show you just a couple things about the volleys, because this is one thing that I did okay when I was playing tennis. And I learned that there's kind of three places where you're different parts of the volley to break it down. One is what your hand's doing, one is what your legs are doing, and one is what your feet are doing. And I'm going to start with what your hand is doing, because that's the place I think people really mess up, and then I'll get to the legs and the feet. So a lot of people get handsy on their volley, which means they do this. They use their hand. They're going to control the ball with their hand, when in fact the hand's not a good power source of control. The hand's sort of weak compared to other levers in your body, the wrist. So you do want to keep your wrist firm, but we want to stroke the ball, but we want the stroke to come from here, from the back of the shoulder and your lat, which is a very strong muscle in your body, and much easier to control the ball than if you're using a lot of hand. So what I'd like you to do to start with is just to look in the mirror. No racket, no tennis balls, nobody telling you what to do. Just look in the mirror yourself and practice shadowing this. And you can put your left hand here, because I think you're right-handed, and you can feel it moving. You can feel your arm moving. Now what's going to happen is you're going to start here and take a little bit of a swing. It's not just a poke. It's not a poke. It's a nice stroke, but you're finishing with your hand facing your target. You're not finishing over here. You're not finishing down here. So you're sort of imagining the ball being in the perfect spot. You're going to start a little bit above, and you're going to take a nice stroke. Now you can see already that even though I'm not concentrating on it, that takes me to my next step, which is what your legs are doing. And after you shadow both your forehand volley, a lot of times, maybe 50 times a day, no racket, because I think when we put the racket and the ball in our hand, we start worrying about whether or not we're going to make the shot. So we're just going to do this and get a good feel, a nice stroke going. Same thing on my backhand volley.
That was a lucky one.
As you can see, my legs are pressing down as I hit, and that's going to be our next goal, is to add, after we're really, do this for like a week. Don't worry about your legs. Just be doing this. Shadow, shadow, then take your racket. After you've done it a lot with just your hand, and add your racket, no ball. Shadow, shadow. And imagine your contact is here, right off your left foot. A little further back on your backhand volley, off your right foot. A little later, and you're going to just a little bit of a stroke, and you're going to freeze at your contact, a little past your contact, and your racket is going to be facing, your strings are going to be facing your target. So we don't want this, and we don't want that, and we don't want a lot of hand. And I think that is the best place to start. And then I'm going to send you another video on how we're going to press. Once we get our stroke, we're going to hit and press, and mom's going to feed you balls, and you're not going to move, and you're going to press and hit at the same time. We'll get to that next. So right now, shadow, shadow, shadow with the racket, shadow with the racket. You look great, and you're doing a great job. Keep up the good work.